Art was kind of an afterthought. I never had displayed much ability towards any drawing or even tracing for that matter.
It was like an innate desire to create, and I've had that as long as I can remember.
What got me started in music was being around it all the time.
I'm Carla Craven, and I work with paints and resins.
I'm Matthew Stevens, and I do original steel artwork.
I'm Director Kammie, and I'm a musician. Being around music really became the way I related to the world. In many cases, it's something that I latched on to very early on. It was just a natural progression, really, to go from that to pursuing it full time.
The medium picks me. I've always been kind of the vessel. I've worked with cloth, wood, concrete, glass, iron, paint. The medium comes to me when I'm working on the process and how I'm going to interpret that idea.
I started welding security doors for rental property. And initially I made a couple that were very industrial looking. Over time I started making them more thematic. It just kind of drifted into art, and so I started making pictures.
I'm driven to create pieces for a number of reasons, on a number of levels. Some intellectual, from just my studies and what I feel I kind of ought to be doing with music. On another level, something much less tangible. There's something I've been hearing for a very long time. I just want to get it out.
Most of my work is inspired by some of the masters. I really like Van Gogh. I've done several Van Goghs. I've done numerous Picassos. Munch. The Scream has been one that I've done several times.
It's getting my head and my hands together, and when you can bring the heart along, that's when you're in the zone. If I don't do it, I will have problems in other parts of my life.
One of the things I really like about this medium is how you deal with mistakes.
I never make a mistake.
Well, there are happy mistakes.
In my process, there's no mistakes. I'm just not finished.
Happy accidents that reveal something unintended but works really well.
I grab a grinder and I cut it out.
If something doesn't turn out exactly the way I plan it, I figured that's a workshop. I'd have to take a class.
I embrace those. Those aren't mistakes. That's when the piece starts telling me what it wants to be.
Sometimes whatever I cut out, I get to reuse. And that's one of the things I really like about it.
I know when I'm finished, when I feel really good about what I'm looking at. And I try not to overthink it, because the enemy of good is better.
At no point are you ever totally sure you're finished, but at some point you just say, that's enough.
And this is a question that comes up frequently. Well, how do I know when I'm done? I think of it like cabinet making, where the compositional process is cutting the pieces, filling in the cracks and the bits that aren't quite right. That's your editing. And then the final mix and mastering is putting the finish on it.
When I made my first one, I actually took it to an artist. I said, is it finished? And I got what is probably a common response from all artists. I don't know, it's up to you.
Is it perfect? Oh, nah, perfection is boring. The choice then becomes, what imperfections do I leave and still be able to consider it done?
I think my medium says, more about me than my art may.
What does my art say about me? I don't really think it says anything about me personally, although I would like people to think that I'm very clever.
But what it says about me is I think it's kind of unique.
I am not sure what my music says about me.
How did she do that? I like to do something that's quick, but looks very complicated.
If I could tell you, then I wouldn't need the music. What I hope it says is that it says everything I can't say to you right now.
So I didn't have anyone around to teach me how to do it wrong.
The pieces that I have released into the world, I feel very good about those. Whether anybody likes them or not, I really don't care.
To be able to communicate with my hands, because the mouth ain't doing it. No.
I made something that I feel expressed what I wanted to express at that point, and that it turned out as something to my satisfaction.
It just makes me feel good to be able to get that idea and to follow it through into a manifestation. There it is. It's like, voila.
I really don't make it just for me. I want to make something that I can share with other people, and something that I'm very proud of, will stand tall. And one thing about my work, it's going to be here thousands of years from now.